Welcome to Tim's Vinyl Confessions. I'm Tim Derling, and on this episode, it's a reboot of one that I did just a couple of years ago. Some of you might be thinking, well, didn't you already do a Journey 8-track collection? I did. I've got a couple of significant additions to make to this, so I'm pretty happy to show you what I've got now. When I did the episode before, I was lacking the first Journey album on 8-track. I'd never even seen it for sale. Since then, I've seen it, I think, exactly twice, and once I was able to snag it off eBay, and one that's in excellent shape. This is the debut Journey album from 1975. US copy, this pretty red card here. I was so excited to get this. Still haven't seen this that many times. You know, sometimes if you look for something for a long, long time, you can't find it. You find a copy, and then you start seeing it everywhere. That hasn't been the case with this one so far. This one is still pretty scarce. Not too many of these floating around. It's in excellent shape. Very minimal bubbling. And as I've said many times, I just love this early Journey stuff. Second one, 1976, is Look Into the Future. This must have been when they switched from the red cards to this sort of dark gray, really dark gray color. I'm not really sure. This is again on Columbia Records. Everything you see here is going to be on Columbia. And most of them American, with actually with one exception, and here it is. This is the third Journey album, Next. As rare as it is to see Journey 8 tracks, it's Canadian ones. It's even rare to see the early ones, the ones that weren't the gold and platinum sellers. So this is from 1977. First big Journey album, Steve Perry's first with the band, 1978, Evolution, the start of the cool Stanley Mouse artwork as well. This is a pretty beaten up copy. I could replace it with another one, but I'm in no hurry. 1979, Evolution. This is one of those CBS carts where the label goes completely around. I've got a couple like this. I've got an REO Speedwagon one like this too. Customized logo there, and how well you can make that out. It's kind of, even when I'm looking at it with the naked eye, it's pretty, the black and the white's like bleeding into each other. So 1979, a compilation came out of the early Journey stuff, the first three, called In the Beginning. Here it is on 8-track. This one's a heavy one. There's a lot of tape on this. Good introduction if you could find it for the early stuff, but for that matter, it doesn't cost that much to get the first three albums anyway. 1980, another really cool album cover, Departure. One I've had for quite a while, another heavy one because it's a double live album, Captured, from 1981. This one's got so the first one I've got's got a barcode on it. The 8-track that started my entire collection off back in 1990 was Escape. This is the 8-track that I've had in my collection the absolute longest. And that's it for the retail versions of Journey's albums. From here on in, it's strictly Record Club only. 1983, my favorite Journey album, Departure. This is a Columbia House issue. And one that I did not have last time that I'm over the moon excited to tell you about. 1986, Raised on Radio. This is a Columbia House issue. Of course, you weren't going to find this in the store. Very happy to have found this one. This is tough to find. You just don't see it all that much. Now, I still don't have the Greatest Hits album on 8-track, which is reported to be the last or one of the very last 8-tracks released by a major label of November 1988. Maybe someday. I do have one more to show you. Steve Perry's debut album, Street Talk, from 1984. This is a US Columbia House issue, also on Columbia. So if I had that Greatest Hits card, I really would have all the Journey stuff that I'm looking for on 8-track, and maybe someday I'll get it. But thanks for watching this edition of Tim's Vinyl Confessions.